Hey everybody, Mortgage Tree Dave coming at you with your weekly update. Now, as you can remember from last week, Michelle and I were able to escape for a couple days from the really cold weather and go somewhere a little warmer to Phoenix, Arizona. While we were there, I got a little bit of golfing in, got some relaxing, some sun in, but we also got to do a cool hike up to a place called Radio Tower, just on the outskirts of town. Take a peek at our view. But while we were there, what I missed most were these two munchkins. So we were able to come home, pick the kids up from Grandma and Grandpa's, thank you Grandma and Grandpa, and just get back to life. Now when I came back, I had some great questions, some awesome feedback, and out of the feedback you'll see that I have a new microphone. Some people suggested that I try to get the audio a little more crisp and clear, so hopefully this will help. Out of the questions, one of the questions that I was asked, and it's actually really good because in the industry, we can sometimes take for granted the terminology and what it means. And for you guys, you're just not used to it. So let's take a look at what does refinancing and what does renewal mean. So let's break it down. Over the course of your mortgage, you're going to be given an amortization. That's the total amount of time where you owe the funds back, or the time granted to pay back the funds. Typically, it can be anywhere between 10, 15, 20, 25, maybe even 30 years, depending on your lender. So let's just take an average of 25 years. Let's just go with that one for our example. And the term being a smaller chunk of that where it's broken up. And let's just say a 5-year term. Okay, work with me on some math here. So what is the renewal? The renewal is the time when you get to renegotiate the rate or have somebody like me, I'd be more than happy to do it for you, renegotiate that rate on your behalf. Typically, you're sent a letter 120 days before the renewal is or the term is set to expire. That's where you can renew it or have me renew it for you on your behalf and negotiate those terms. Sometimes the lender will let you negotiate and sometimes they won't, but it's all dependent on the lender. So that's where you're just taking off chunks of time. So let's pretend that you've gone and taken a 25-year amortization, you've gone through a 5-year term, you've gone through another 5-year term and it's coming up. You can renegotiate it or just renew it with the letter that they've given you, and you would have essentially 15 years left of amortization, right? With me so far? So what is a refinance? Let's use the same math. Let's just pretend that you have, let's say, purchased a house for $550,000 here in Calgary, and you've put 5% down where your mortgage value is now $522,500. Okay, that's before CMHC fees. Now, at the time of renewal, remembering that we're now going to go up to 10 years of term has passed, 2 5-year terms, and you would like to refinance. The option for refinancing is being able to pull some of that equity out. Now, dependent on the way the lender has it structured, it may be more, it may be less, but the point of illustration, let's use 80%. A lot of lenders will lend you up to 80% of the new home value price. So if that $550,000 house is now, let's say, worth $600,000, 80% of that is $480,000 that you would be able to pull back out in equity. Now, the difference between that and the mortgage value, let's just throw a random number out there and say it's $300,000 that you have left. You could pull up the difference of $480,000 to $300,000, which is $180,000, to allow you to basically do any renovations, purchase a rental property, go on that luxurious vacation you want, or just do basically anything you want with it. Now, at the same time, the requalification has to go back through. So whatever the rules are for CMHC or the mortgage rules set forth by the government or by your provincial legislation, whichever overrules it, you have to be able to meet those requirements and provide all the supportive income documents and basic re-verification purposes all over again. So to quickly recap, the renewal is where you're just moving forward and taking the next step to just keep the amortization coming down. And refinance is the option to pull equity out and either reset the time back to the original term or a new term, new amortization period, but you're able to get that equity out. So hopefully that answers your question. It's a lot of information in a short amount of time. If you have any questions about the math or there's anything you want to discuss, please reach out to me. There's multiple different ways you can get me. You can find me here on YouTube. You can look me up on Facebook, which is at Mortgage Tree Dave, or the other way is you can search up Dave Walkner, Professional Mortgage Advisor, or on my website, www.davewalkner.com. So until next week, stay safe, stay warm, save money, and I look forward to talking to you then. Thanks a lot, guys.